Dude. Exactly. She was twerking all over it. It was hot. Yeah, I gotta go. Peace out, dude.
William.
Yeah?
What was that?
What are you talking about?
Just a second. You sounded like you're not gay.
Well, I am gay, William.
No. I understand you're gay. You sounded like almost butch there, very masculine. Like, are you faking us all out here? What's going on? Are you a poser?
Listen, Gerald. I have a reputation and a company to uphold. If you know what's good for you, you keep your mouth shut.
Are you threatening me right now?
Yes, I am.
Okay, look, man, I'm not gonna say anything. Just
I didn't think
chill
so.
out.
Yeah, pussy, I didn't think so. Oh, hey, what's up? Did you get the package I sent you? Oh, you're fabulous, isn't it?
You're a monster.
No one's gonna believe you, Gerald. No one.
Yes, they will.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, some idiot was talking to me.
Join Mug Club now for $89 annually or go mugless for $9 a month. Go to louderwithcrowder.com/Mug Club for access to actual funny people like Nick DiPaolo, Mr. Guns and Gear, Alex Jones, and of course, Mug Club Undercover Unit.
Glad to be with you. And I am. I really am. Sometimes I say it because, you fake it till you make it. I have yet to make it. But I'm in a good mood today for multiple reasons. First off, we do have Gay William on the show later today. That's going to be fun. We're also playing What I Bathe In later today with Hobo Teddy.
What?
Also, I don't know if you know this, but some voter fraud or potential voter fraud has now been caught in the state of Virginia. And the governor is actually stepping up and purging voter rolls of non-citizens who are on there, at least 6,000 that we know of. And of course, the DOJ is suing, saying, hey, you have to keep non-citizens on the voter rolls. Did you guys know about this? And this is one of those things where people have said, it's very rare. There's no proof of widespread voter fraud. Well, that's because they don't investigate it. Right? We don't want to end up where we were in the last election. And we'll get to that, what happened in Nevada that we caught. We don't want to get to the point where after the fact, at this point, the point is it's moot. That's what they say.
Yeah.
They say it's moot. Well, why don't you do something beforehand? Because you can't do something right before an election. But now we know that it happened. Well, you can't do anything after the election. So we're going to get to that. All of the proof that we have seen throughout, well, not just throughout the recent timeline, but states right now where this may be a problem and states that have actually taken actionable steps to correct it. What do you know about that? Comment below. What do you know about the voter fraud, the voter rolls, the changing of state laws? The good news is progress is being made. The bad news is that our DOJ doesn't want it to happen. What does that tell you? Also, America has shifted, notably Republican. If you look at these numbers and you follow the trends historically, there's a 99% chance that Donald Trump wins this election, the Electoral College. That's, again, anything can happen, but we'll make that case. Also, the Polymarket right now, trend, the betting odds in Vegas. Bring this up, Noodles.
Polymarket,
14 points.
Wow.
14 points for Donald Trump. That means where the money is being bet, where people are actually putting money where their mouth is. And I want to touch on this really quickly. I don't know if you know this. Kamala Harris is flailing. She's desperate. She'll be on Fox News tomorrow. We're not going to be covering that live, but we'll be covering it the next morning.
Yeah.
She's pandering at this point. Have you seen this NPR article about Kamala Harris? In outreach to black men, Harris vows to legalize weed and protect crypto. In the most self-unaware, racist article headline I can think of. And the article went on to lay out her proposed subsidization of fat white asses. So let it not be said that she is. She wants that.
Hey, that matches your shirt.
So if at some point today you see this, which you will, head on over to Rumble because it's a live show weekdays, 10 a.m. Eastern, and we will not self-censor for YouTube. It is a good day. Captain Morgan, number 2 CEO, how are you?
I am doing 14% better than I was at the start of the day. That's fantastic. Those odds keep moving. It was
That's the widest
when
it's
I told
been.
you about an hour, maybe an hour and a half ago.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Anything can change, but we'll
Of
get to the
course.
Gallup trends in
Yeah.
the past. It's there's a lot to be excited about.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, I like you said, anything can happen, but those trends, the way things are moving right now, the way that her bump has gone away, the way more people here, and it's great. So I'm doing well. How are you?
Well, here's the downside. The cheat. We've passed the lie portion.
Make it so big, though. that
We are
they
at
can't.
cheat. We are at cheat. Right now, the DOJ is saying, no, you cannot, and this is the tip of the iceberg, you cannot purge the voter rolls of non-citizens, self-identified non-citizens, which is a miracle, by the
They
way.
told you they're not citizens.
Yes. You cannot, so now we're at the cheat. That's what's going to be taking place now. We are at the cheat, so that's why we are doing the election live stream of the century. Tune in with anything can happen on election night. They are desperate. It could go either way. They may say, hands off, this is not the one, let's plan for the next 8 years. Or they may try and overcome the gap that is widening. And when you hear this, you know them, you love them. October 26th, Bricktown Comedy Club, Oklahoma City. Josh Firestine, how are you?
I'm good. Glad to see that 14-point spread.
Yep.
That's like a football score.
Yes.
That's like if that's fourth quarter football game, 14, 2 scores spread, dude, you're winning.
Yeah,
Yes.
Trump's up by 2 touchdowns. That's great.
That's when you start doing fumble rooskies, you start deflating footballs, you get the refs involved, you start cheating.
Beforehand, it was a soccer score where it's, it was 0-0 with 19 hours left to play.
Right, yes. And then maybe more after.
Yeah,
Who
maybe.
knows? It's up to the ref.
But lots of chanting and drinking in the stands. To
Yes.
make it fun.
Yeah, well, there's always a riot.
Yeah,
Couple
that's
of
true.
fights.
Or as they refer to January 6th, September 11th, the sequel.
Yes.
9/11 harder. The worst day in American history.
Yes.
Ignore Pearl Harbor behind the curtain. Hey, speaking of curtain and desperate, I don't know if you know this. A lot of people don't like this next person. And by a lot of people, I mean almost everybody. But Anne Hathaway did give a full-throated endorsement of Kamala Harris at her show, I guess, in Broadway. I mean, I can't think of a show less appealing than one titled Anne Hathaway, an Ensemble.
America, the day we have to be free is November 5th. We got a big choice to make, America. And if you have to make a choice, you do have to vote.
Well, actually, they don't.
You do have to do squats.
Issue that you love. Maybe there's somebody you love
Is-
you. Gotta
by that you mean me.
America.
You. No, wait, me. Here it comes. Have your toe trigger ready on your shotgun.
Phone that one in.
I just want to say hi, I'm Anne.
Oh, she's still going.
And actually, my son Jonathan is here tonight. Hi, Johnny.
That kid's grounding himself.
Also, in case you didn't know, I am voting for Kamala.
Oh,
What?
Shocking.
Come
Yes,
on.
you're voting for Kamala.
oh, you're voting Kamala. For a moment, I was worried. Name that movie line. Think of it, just the self-importance. Look. Nobody likes you. Nobody cares. I understand that you didn't want to go for that high note, so you should also be ashamed of yourself and the ensemble. But
Shame of the ensemble.
What was
I mean, at least they don't have their names up in the lights. They're like, hey, just keep it ensemble. I don't want this to get out.
yes, exactly.
Keep it on off my resume.
Hey, sweetie, for our anniversary, tickets to Anne Hathaway and Ensemble.
Dude, was this like yesterday or Sunday?
It's Sunday.
Because if it's dude, there's at least one guy there who wanted to watch football.
Yes.
And is doing that
Yes.
instead.
Yes.
Like,
There's one
bullshit.
guy who took the train from Philly. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm missing the Eagles, dude.
yeah. He wanted to watch Steelers Raiders instead. He's watching I guess the best dress up.
Yes. Well, there were a lot of Philadelphia people there. It always happens in New York. Did you hear when she said, "I'm voting Kamala"? You hear, "Show us your tits. You're like, well,
Wait a minute.
I guess that's the. This is the lady, by the way, this is Hollywood who they tell you, there's more that unites us than divides us. Let's come together. This is the woman who turned away at Barack Obama's inauguration because Rick Warren was speaking. She was so offended at the idea of a Christian pastor speaking that she made sure everyone saw and no one cared. I'm turning my back because Rick Warren is a pastor. Shut up. No one likes you. You ruin everything you touch. You haven't done anything good since Princess Bride, and even that was passable.
Arguable.
It's sad because you have like Taylor Swift who comes out and still doesn't have the impact that she thought she would.
Right.
And then you have Anne Hathaway who's, like, hold my sex on the beach. And then...
Yes, just a bunch of long-backed women.
It's just worse.
Yeah.
She does have a very long back.
Yeah, it's a black way of saying she has no ass.
Yes.
Oh.
I know, but I was doing the white guy response. Yes, she does have a long, almost giraffe.
Yes, very elegant and tall.
Oh, you were speaking of her lack of birthing hips.
Ah, it looks like she fixed that scoliosis.
Yes. Wore brace, through
Upright
junior
and
high. Old brace back, they call that.
Look at her, braceless.
Yes.
And ass away.
Ass away.
That's what happens. Her ass just away.
What was it, like half British, half McConaughey? Yes. British McConaughey.
Hello? Anne's ass? She's not here. Is it childish? Sure.
Yeah.
It's okay. And you can take part, by the way, and join the Mug Club Army.
That's a great segue.
Which, we obviously, if you're not a member of Mug Club, that's fine. We ask you to go mugless because it's a multi-million-dollar undertaking going into the election. But you can also do some things for free. For example, if you are in New York City right now, you can just go take a picture with our new Times Square billboard.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize if I kept going.
Oh,
You said
Did you stop it early? Keep playing. Pick it up from where you left off. This is a horrible plug.
yes.
Yeah.
And send me your pictures. You can send them to me on Instagram or on the X and hashtag election live stream of the century. The
That's
Rumble
great.
on Rumble.
That's great.
Yes, the Rumble
Glad
on Rumble, baby.
you decided not to go with my idea of you eating pizza with a fork and knife.
Yes.
And saying, how about this, New York?
Yeah, unfortunately, the one you suggested was deep dish. So
Well, I
Wouldn't
mean,
work
it makes
either
more
way.
sense.
Yeah.
just,
At least it's
poke
not
the bear.
Detroit style, which sucks. By the way, we will be announcing either, I guess, maybe tomorrow or Thursday, a big sponsor for that election live stream of the century.
So voter fraud.
I hate you.
Well, don't say we're announcing it. We'll just announce it.
It's building momentum.
Oh, right.
towards
Okay.
it.
All right.
I'm just not able to yet.
Okay. All right.
Well, unless it falls through,
Yeah.
then we won't be.
Then we won't be, yeah.
Momentum.
Plus, Gerald's always late with sponsors. It's like, I got man grates. Are you serious?
It depends on if their EBT card works. We'll see.
He just got the spot for Mando.
Yes.
Charles Bronson's.
Mendham.
Mando.
Oh, the world loves a lover. He spends all his time alone, Charles Bronson, in the Mendham commercial.
Splashing himself with cologne.
Mendham.
Watch Louder and Crowder weekdays, sponsored by Blockbuster.
It's a family video.
Circuit City.
All right. So you've heard this a lot, and I just think the timeline today is very interesting. Very rarely do you have an issue, and certainly the left on this issue, dead to rights. That's where we are right now. Now, I would argue, and I would love for you to comment below, what do you think has been the most convincing evidence that you have seen of election meddling, rigging, voter fraud? Comment below. We know there's rigging and meddling through social media algorithms, through legacy media, through burying stories like the Hunter Biden laptop. We've talked about that. But right now we are getting into the specific scenario of voter fraud or potential voter fraud. Let me just ask you this. We all agree, right, that you should only vote if you are a legal citizen here. Can we find common ground on that?
Yes.
Okay, before we even get to the idea of deporting, before we get to the idea of dreamers or anchor babies, as it stands right now in 2024, only law-abiding citizens eligible to vote should vote in our national elections, correct? Okay. DOJ says no. Now,
Come on, DOJ.
the DOJ is suing Virginia, the state of Virginia, because Virginia's governor, Glenn Youngkin, okay, he basically signed this executive order designed to remove non-citizens from voting rolls. Now, let him explain it to you with Jake Tapper, who, by the way, is stunned in silence. This is not a suspicion. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is over 6,000 self-identified non-citizens who were on the voting rolls who needed to be removed, and so he did. That's why the DOJ is suing, to keep non-citizens on the voting rolls. We'll provide all of the references, LottoCredit.com, link in the description, okay? Am I clear? Let's hear Youngkin defend it with Jake Tapper, who has nothing to say.
Let me just first begin. It's anything but a purging program. It begins with someone identifying themselves as a non-citizen. And I guess I would posit back to you, do you think that non-citizens, when they've self-identified as a non-citizen, should stay on the voter roll and therefore be in a position to potentially vote in a presidential election?
I don't think any non-citizen should vote. How are they self-identifying? How does that happen?
Here's the
They
answer.
actually tick a box that says I am a non-citizen, or they do not answer the question that
Gets
they
worse.
are a citizen, and therefore they self-identify that they are not a citizen in the United States of America. And this is why this is so out of bounds in my mind from the Justice Department. They fully understand this. They understand the process starts with a person self-identifying as a non-citizen, and then there is a match with that person's name on the voter rolls, and they are given not just one, but up to 3 times in order to try to cure it.
Yes. So they identify as a non-citizen, and then basically Virginia says, hey, just want to make sure, are you a citizen or not a citizen? Because you checked non-citizen. And they check again, non-citizen. So I don't know, the case can be made, and I can't prove this, there's probably more non-citizens than the people who went through that process.
You mean most non-citizens wouldn't say I'm a non-citizen?
Notoriously hard to get to self-identify as non-citizens.
Well, if you trust your institutions, to trust that everyone's telling the truth.
It's almost unheard of.
As
One
we
can
were
argue.
getting a government ID.
Yes.
I identify as trans. I don't.
Look,
wow.
we love you
No.
just the same. We love you just as much.
Why'd
so
you tell the DMV that? Weird.
you get bored, you look for
it
things to do.
wrong.
Yeah.
So Donald Trump weighed in on this, and here's the thing. Donald Trump weighed in, and then he was fact-checked by CBS, the same CBS who proactively lied, and we'll show you the video. So Donald Trump weighed in on this on Truth Social. He said, one of the greatest examples of DOJ weaponization is the fact that they are suing Virginia to put all of the illegal voters, which were fully exposed and removed by the important work of Governor Glenn Youngkin, back on the voter rolls, folks, back on them. Obviously, this was done so that they can cheat on the election. So sad. So sad. What has happened to our once great country? So CBS,
I love how you go with the all caps.
that's how I read it.
You have to read how he wrote it. Yeah.
CBS issued a non-fact-checking fact check. And this is, so they say fact check. And that's enough where people go, oh, it must be false, right? But here's what they say in their fact check, CBS. Voter fraud by non-citizens is very rare, experts have found. They don't really cite the experts.
Nope.
There's no evidence of widespread non-citizen voting in previous election. Well, that's not a fact check of what Donald Trump is saying. And if you say it's rare, okay, well, it's not unheard of. It's not so rare in this instance. 6,300 times, 6,300 at least non-citizens were purged from the Virginia voting rolls. And here's the thing, this is the argument. They'll say Donald Trump lost every case. That's actually not true. We'll do a segment on that. They say there's no evidence of voter fraud. Well, you can't find evidence if when evidence is already found, the DOJ basically sues to suppress said evidence. It would be like a local sheriff's department suing one of their detectives to put the murder weapon back on the street. This is the evidence. It's the starting evidence. It's 6,300. It's the murder weapon. We have the prints. We have DNA. No. Put that back at the crime scene. We're not going to admit it. See, there's no evidence. Yeah, but you didn't accept the evidence. 6,300 just in Virginia. So CBS issues that fact check, which is not a fact check. And keep in mind, if you actually trust your institutions of media, when people say, hey, you have people online they can be purveyors of misinformation, that fact check combined with the fact that it's the same CBS who edited Speaker Johnson's interview on this exact topic.
You know that it is against the law for non-citizens to vote in federal elections. That's established law.
Of course it is. Of course it is. But here's the problem. There's a number of states that are not requiring
This is what they aired for those listening on audio.
When illegals or non-citizens.
Ben Johnson uploaded his
We know
full
that's happening.
But respectfully, Speaker,
everybody should want the law to be followed.
You
Glenn
know
Youngkin
that it is against the law for non-citizens to vote in federal elections. That's established law.
Of course it is. Of course it is. But here's the problem. There's a number of states that are not requiring proof of citizenship when illegals or non-citizens register to vote. We know that's happening. Look, Glenn Youngkin in Virginia, I was going to say, he issued an executive order to clean up their voting rolls heading into the election. Less than 30 days out, a couple of days ago, the Biden administration, Department of Justice, Biden-Harris administration, sued the governor and the Commonwealth of Virginia to try to prevent them from cleaning up their voter rolls. See, that kind of thing creates a lot of doubt and concern in the minds of a lot of the American people. Why would they do that? Everybody should want the law to be followed. Yeah.
So, two important points here. Why do you think CBS didn't want to air that second part that included great specificity? The same media networks who issue the fact check saying there is no evidence of voter fraud taking place or non-citizens voting. He lays out the undeniable fact that it is possible here in Virginia, and they've taken steps to fix it, and the DOJ has ensured that they can't. That's why CBS doesn't want you to hear that. Second point, think of where we are. That Speaker Johnson knew this was going to happen, filmed it on his own, and they did it anyway, so he had to upload it to social media. It's your fault that you don't trust your institutions? I think if you trust your institutions in 2024, you need a CAT scan. So let me continue through this here, because I will say this. Once upon a time on YouTube, you'd be removed. Now we're allowed to, because they're probably going to dispute the next election. We do not have free and fair elections in this country. It's not as bad as a lot of other countries. We do have some checks and balances, some margins in place to try and ensure at least a somewhat fair vote. There is one side exclusively fighting to make sure that does not take place. And it's not the side saying you need ID to vote. It's the side saying you cannot purge illegal aliens from voting in your own state.
Yeah. And the Department of Justice has known about this. This law has been in effect since 2006. It was signed by a Democrat. It was upheld by Democrat governors before this. It also is a state where they have same-day voter registration. So if there is this problem where you accidentally get pushed off the voter roll, you show up to vote, you have proof of citizenship, you have your ID, you can vote that day. They have gone after him 25 days before an election for a reason, to keep these people on. So when Donald Trump says they want to keep people on, they do. They knew about this 90 days out from the election when he signed the order. The order didn't make this law. The order said instead of checking monthly, we're going to check daily, right, to make sure that this gets corrected. That was it. Yeah. This is the easiest case to prosecute against voter fraud in your state, and the DOJ is saying you can't even do that.
Let me ask you this, too. Before we I'm going to go through these claims here and some more examples of voter fraud. Do you believe for a second that the DOJ or higher courts do you doubt that they ever interpret law and go, okay, hold on a second, this is about the spirit of the law, and if something is overwhelmingly important, they decide to not go with a technicality, not hang you on a technicality, right? You know they do that, right? So here, they're trying to hang the state on a technicality and say, it's too close to an election. Yeah, but hold on a second. There's nothing really in dispute here that these are non-citizens. They've identified as non-citizens multiple times. Virginia is not asking for the right to actually investigate the, I guarantee you, far, far more non-citizens who didn't self-identify. Yeah. They're just asking to clear up the things that are not in dispute. And the DOJ, you think that they're looking out for you by sticking to the letter of the law, a technicality here? Let me ask you, why is the DOJ so dead set on ensuring that non-citizens stay on the voting roll? And here's the thing. How would you be able to check the citizen? Once the election takes place, how would you be able to know which non-citizens vote? You can't. Then the courts rule it's moot. So let's go through some of these examples here. Here's a claim here from the left a lot. Non-citizens cannot vote. Don't worry about it.
This attempt to spread widespread claims about non-citizens voting. That's something experts say is incredibly rare.
If you're not fighting an actual problem, which we're not in this country with non-citizens voting.
Right now is leading the charge, claiming that undocumented immigrants will be voting en masse this year, even though there is no proof of that, and it is 100% illegal for non-citizens to vote.
It is already illegal for non-citizens to vote in federal elections. It's already illegal.
Okay, so technically that's true. I don't know if you know, it's true that it's illegal to steal.
Yes, murder.
But if you never put up security cameras or have security guards, it's almost like you can't know who's stealing.
That's true.
So the law is useless. So here's the truth. Sure, it's technically illegal, but those in government are working to ensure that it remains imminently feasible every single election. Certainly your federal government, because other states, by the way, have identified and removed non-citizens. References available. Link in the description. Alabama removed over 3,200. Ohio, almost 600. Texas, 6,500. And it's very, very difficult to do. I don't know if you know this. If you can't identify non-citizens with the census, it's pretty tough to do through an election law. There's a lot of red tape. Keep in mind, in 2020, you had states that were determined by no more than 11,000 votes. Places like Georgia and Arizona. So a few thousand votes here, 10,000 votes there. Place a bet. How many non-citizens do you think vote or could vote in this country? We know that we have at least the low end 14 million illegal aliens. The high end is 20 million in the last 3 years. What if just 1, 2, 10% of them vote? Hey, there are no laws to really stop them in many states. Here's another truth. 19 states require no proof of citizenship to get a driver's license. And then some of those states don't require ID when you show up to vote anyway. That's 14. So 19 states require no proof of citizenship to get a driver's license. You show up, you get ID. You do not have to be a citizen. You can vote with that ID. And then 14 states outright don't require voter ID when you show up to vote at the polls. 24 states total offer exceptions to the voter ID laws. Think about that for a second. When you have states that were determined by thousands of votes, when you have thousands of illegal aliens on the voting rolls that have been identified, which is really hard to do. In Virginia alone, over 6,300 self-identified multiple times. You combine that with 19 states, basically have no proof of citizenship to vote. Let's be honest.
Yeah. And don't forget Tim Walz, his state where he wanted to give people ID and then I think within a year automatically register them to vote.
Yep.
80,000 people in his state would then be eligible to vote that are there illegally.
Yep.
That's the kind of rules that they want.
Yep. And and you know what? Every single vote is one that shouldn't take place. It erases the same number of American votes. It's not about hating people from other countries. It's about not hating yourself. It's about being proud to be American. And that means that you're proud to be in a country that respects rule of law. So to give us a frontline update, we have more of these myths to debunk right now. We have our own, actually newest correspondent on the phone, I believe.
Right.
Do we have him? Please welcome Ignacio the Alien. Ignacio, are you there? Can you hear me, sir?
Por favor, call me Nacho.
Okay, well, that doesn't make any sense.
Sí, it's a nickname. You do the same thing with Richard.
I don't...
You call him Dick, but it doesn't make any sense if I say chupa me Richard.
Okay, good point. Now, you live in Virginia. Have you been notified about your registration, Ignacio? On the...
Sí. They say I cannot vote in Virginia because when I got my driver license, I marked the application non-citizen.
Oh, are you upset about this?
No. Porque I'm registered in West Virginia. Plus, I get to keep my license so I can drive there, no problem.
Okay, so then you're set. Doesn't West Virginia have voter ID laws, though?
Sí, pero my cousin works at one of the voting booths. So, shout out to Carlos.
Okay.
Orale, what's up, cabrón?
Yeah, all right. Let's cut it, Tillman.
Okay.
Let's cut it.
Sounds like a cool guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Probably not the best correspondent, but I have nothing against him personally.
Well, it's not legal, so.
Did Finnegan hire that guy?
I don't know.
I have to look at it.
I don't know. We outsource it. Let's go to the next claim. You'll hear quite a bit. That 2020, and not only was it a claim, you were banned from suggesting that this may not be true. 2020 was the most free and fair election of all time.
A free and fair election.
In a free and fair election.
A free and fair election.
Here are the facts.
we had a safe and secure, free and fair election.
Donald Trump lost the presidential election in 2020.
Free and fair election.
All right, here's the truth. And unfortunately, it can't be the whole truth because you're not allowed to investigate. You personally, nor are your states allowed to investigate. Leave it in the hands of the federal government. And why is it the most free and fair? Because they say so. Let me give you some examples, though. The references are available. Pennsylvania violated their own constitution to change voting laws. Pennsylvania state court ruled that the no excuse, meaning just everyone, blanket mail-in voting, would require a constitutional amendment. Then a Supreme Court in Pennsylvania overruled it. It was a 4-2 decision with Democrat judges. Happened before the election. Then after the election, they said, yeah, you can't do this, but it's a moot point. There are other states, by the way, that change laws at the last minute. States like Michigan, states like Wisconsin. We saw that take place. Here's another claim that you'll hear, and we'll do an entire segment on this because a lot of people still believe this, just like a lot of people still believe that Donald Trump praised neo-Nazis as very fine people. And by that, I mean stupid people. The claim that is made is that even the courts themselves, what do you think you know more than the court? The courts in 2020 made it very clear. They stated that the election was absolutely fair.
More than 24 cases have been brought and no finding of fraud from any judge, state or federal, Republican or Democratic. Case after case tossed out and the judges strikingly dismissive of the claims.
Truth. That's wrong. So only 32 of the 93 election cases were ever even heard on merit. Okay? So let's just take those, meaning those were actually heard. 24 of those 32 decisions actually favored the GOP, favored people challenging the results in one capacity or another. Here's the problem. After the election, there's nothing you can do about it, so let's just aim to do better next time. Then you have a state like Virginia aims to do better. No, DOJ is going to sue you. Can't do that. Are you starting to get the picture? Are you starting to get the picture? You literally have an election where there absolutely was foul, not just talking about media and big tech, challenged in court. 24 of those 32 said, yeah, there's something here, but there's nothing you can do. So let's just, the best thing to do is let's not look backwards. Let's look forward. Let's fix it for next time. States step in and try and fix it. And the federal government in one capacity or another says, no, can't do that. Let me ask you this. What recourse is there? Genuine question.
Yeah.
Comment below. That's why people feel hopeless. And I'm not saying don't go out and vote, because if the chasm is so wide, all these tricks are not enough. But I have told you it's lie, cheat. We are getting to that point when there is a 14-point spread on the betting odds. Cheat. That's where the Hunter Biden laptop.
Yeah.
Social media algorithms. Suppressing ivermectin research. We'll do another segment on that. Suppressing the idea that it could have come from a lab. Suppressing CDC numbers as far as flu deaths with children compared to COVID. Suppressing evidence that may show you that the mRNA injection, I don't want to say vaccine, could result in some complications. Suppress. It's lie. When people don't believe the lie anymore, cheat. Lie. No, the courts even said, well, hold on a second. 24 of the 32 said there's something going on here. Let's try and tighten these laws going forward. Okay, we're going to try and do that. Cheat. Sue you. No, you can't, says the DOJ.
Yeah.
If you're not out of your mind angry about it, you're not paying attention.
And the media is in lockstep on these cases. I didn't know that we had won 75% of the cases that were brought and actually heard on the merits. What you hear the media parrot is the 61 number.
Right.
61 cases were brought and defeated. That's what they parrot on every single show that has addressed this that I've ever heard. 61 cases. Somebody needs to be telling them 24 out of 32 decided on the merit, we won.
Right.
That's what people need to hear, because I heard it and I actually got a little down. I'm like, oh crap, well, they brought 61 cases. I know a lot weren't even heard on the merits, but we didn't win one. We didn't get anything out of this.
Right.
Texas banded with other states, attorneys general, to try to sue Pennsylvania. And we got nothing from the Supreme Court because they basically disenfranchised Texas voters in other states by changing their constitution illegally to vote. Like 24 of 32, you won 75% of the time when the cases were heard on the merits. Take that and make sure everybody hears it.
Yep. And the reason we're talking about it now is so that this doesn't happen. Same thing with the election live stream that we are doing. November 5th, right here. That's why we have the ability to call states, dispute states. We are going to have boots on the ground in every major city of every major swing state in the country. We'll have a live electoral map so you can see any underhanded business taking place that night. You can follow it in real time. You can help in real time. We are talking about this so that we're not just the place that bitches, but that we make sure what happened in 2020 doesn't happen again. For example, what happened in Nevada, where right here we chased down non-existent voter addresses. And in one instance, a voting address that was changed against the state's own guidelines in the middle of the night to another address where this person could never have possibly lived. And the registrar said, well, there's nothing we can do. This is Christina Joy Raya-Gupana, hopefully I'm getting that right, voted from 353 West Bonneville Avenue now.
Wait,
what was that, house?
I don't know.
Assume for a second that I'm not lying about all of this, okay? Let's just go with me. Assume that you take 20 minutes out of your day as an official working there to maintain election integrity. You go there and you notice that Gupana doesn't live there either, as I am telling you. What's the recourse there? How do we fix it, considering that the election has already been conducted?
I'll have to check into that, but I'm not aware of a law that would allow us to do what you're asking. I'm not aware of a law that would allow us to take that sort of action, but
Thank you. That's exactly my issue, along with these thousands of other votes on the rolls. I appreciate your time. Dan, thank you. I hope that you go and visit that address. Appreciate it. Now, at that moment in time, some of those videos, not all of them, were removed from YouTube. That's why we're here on Rumble. Tune into Rumble. But now you're allowed to question election results. YouTube changed their policy.
I wonder why.
Why do you think that is? We'll get to the voting spread and the Gallup history and self-identified Republicans versus Democrats in this country, which has shifted one direction for the first time, I believe, in 30 years. We'll get to it in just a moment. But before that, we actually, this whole thing stinks. Yeah, and actually, it's time to play our new game, What I Bathe In. All right, we're playing today with Hobo Teddy. Hobo Teddy. Hobo Teddy, yeah.
How you guys doing?
Yeah.
Hey.
Yes.
Hey, Teddy.
Yeah. All right, Teddy.
All right, Ted. But
okay.
I'm not one to split hairs.
It's Theodore. Okay.
Okay. Well, I don't know that we have time.
Yeah, what are we doing? We're playing a game today?
Yeah, you got to guess what I bathed in.
Okay.
Okay, and?
Take a load off. And that's it. That's the game.
Okay, what do we win if we win?
Whatever's in my pockets.
Well, what's in your pockets?
I don't even know. That's the best part.
Okay,
They look
I
way
like
down.
this. I like
That's
this
good.
very much. All right, so we're going to start. Okay,
This
let me
is
go
soggy.
first, and you can play along too in chat. Is it day-old French onion soup?
Nope.
Oh, he's very.
What about my turn? Cat litter in a tuna can?
Yeah. No, it could be month-old baby formula. Is that what we're?
Not quite, but keep guessing. You're good at this. Have you done this before?
No, I haven't done it before.
I have some experience myself.
Yes.
Is it Brian Stelter's bathwater?
Gwyneth Paltrow's. Is it the candle wax?
I wish.
Oh, that's not. Come on.
Oh, it's hot dogs cooked in a septic tank.
Yes.
No. Poop. It is poop.
Gerald,
come on.
That is. This is a human. This is still a human being.
Yeah, where's
here.
your
You wanna do
humanity,
exploitative
man?
crap. Take that down
Christ.
to take that down to Howard Stern.
Yeah, this isn't Stern 100.
Yeah,
it's poop.
Yeah,
you're a ghoul, Gerald.
I don't know.
Sorry about that, Theodore. Hold on a second. Guys, I need to think. It's kind of hard.
It's not poop.
We know.
Hold on.
Thanks for having me here. You know, so
What'd you put this? This thing is broken.
A dumpster? What do you?
I love that you lift a guy up, you have him on, you toss him a couple of
All right, hold on.
Couple of
refreshments.
All right, hold on. I'm just gonna have to pour it this way.
Hey, that's cheating, Steven. You can't use the clear. That's cheating.
No, I can use the. It's not medicine. Okay.
You're always cheating.
Is it? Hold on. Is it the?
Take your time.
The waste bin behind the daycare down the block after it was licked by that St. Bernard at the puppy hospital. hint of dragon fruit.
You got it.
There we go.
Oh my gosh.
How did you guess that?
Yeah.
You got a schnoz on you.
Yeah, I do have a schnoz. I mean, thank you, Teddy. I appreciate you. What do I win?
Yeah, empty those pockets.
All right. Okay. So let's do the same time next week.
Is there anything?
Well, thanks for having me, guys.
All right. Great.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Don't forget your bag of stuff.
Yeah, you got to sell that stuff.
We appreciate you taking the time.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
If you need me, I'll be, down on Elm Street.
Yeah. No, I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's right around the corner.
Yeah, I know.
We know where it is.
Teddy.
Thanks, Teddy.
In the cardboard box.
I know.
And,
Thanks, Teddy.
Thank you, Teddy. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Can I use your bathroom?
Yeah, sure. You can. You mean my office?
I'll poop in your office. Yeah.
In the bathroom?
No.
Okay.
No, that's like we shouldn't.
All right. That's been enough.
Well, don't do it right here.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? What do you? Why is he back?
Can I take this with me?
Yes, it was yours. You took it. It's clearly yours. It's one of your very few items of property, Teddy.
Well, thank you very much.
But you don't need to thank me. You came in with it.
Okay, I'll be in your office.
Yeah, I don't want you to be in my office. Lock my office, okay? That's been what I bathe in, everybody. Well, it would help if the plug wasn't broken. I don't know why.
Now that he's gone, can I have some of that?
So go to clear.com, use the promo code LWC20. You get 20% off your first time purchase of any Clear Spry products. It uses xylitol. And by the way, they're actually in a lawsuit because it was proven to be effective in reducing the viral load of COVID by something like 90-something%. They're allowed to make the claim. They're just not allowed to make the claim on radio. I believe COVID on radio because it's a separate FCC thing. You think if you brush your teeth, clean your nose. I've been using it for a long time and they became a sponsor.
I use it every day, at least twice.
Is that the channel right before Stern 100?
Yes.
COVID on radio 99.
Careful, that's the gold standard you're talking about.
All right, I'm sorry.
That is a beacon.
Okay, look, I don't want to be kicked out of the radio sphere here.
Yeah, you know what people have said in the last 20 years? Oh, I want to do radio.
It's a lifelong dream to be on FM.
Let's get another bottle of that, guys, one that's not broken. All right.
You broke it.
I didn't break it. The cap wouldn't come off.
Just broke
literally,
it.
no one checked it. It had clearly been fossilized.
Literally broke it.
All right.
Weird.
Go ahead. You take it off. It's almost like we should have an intern just check the product before we bring it on in.
Hey, look. That took about half a second.
Whoa, yeah. It's the motion. It was the gyration.
For me.
Hey, Stephen loosened it.
I use it every day, twice a day. I've never had a problem.
You opened it and run through.
I don't think I did open it and run through. No, I didn't use it and run through. No, I wanted to keep it for the real thing.
Hold on, let's reenact.
What's that sound about?
Yeah.
What is it? What is he, a robot or a Martian? What is it?
He's the shittier white version of the Police Academy guy.
I'm the GEI hire for that. It's the opposite
Michael
way.
Winslow. I know him. Yeah.
All right. So here's some more good news. And by the way, smash the Rumble button. Let people know if you're enjoying this voter fraud segment. But we're also going to get into something else that I'm excited about. I don't know if you know this. Polls are getting worse and worse for Democrats. And there is a major trend here that could possibly be, and nothing is surefire. Are you waving because of the smell?
Yes, it fucking reeks in here now. Sorry.
Well, I mean, there was puppies.
Yeah, okay.
Well, yeah.
So, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah, voter fraud.
You know that thing.
Just keep smelling
This may be, this next indicator may be the most reliable indicator that you can use as far as a predictor of this election. And if you are to use it, there's pretty much call it 95+% chance that Donald Trump wins the Electoral College. But first, these polls, for those of you who don't know, keep shifting more and more toward Republicans.
As the countdown to Election Day ticks away, voter registration deadlines are starting to hit. A closer look at polling shows at the moment, more Americans identify as Republicans than Democrats. It's the first time in 3 decades the GOP held such a lead.
Wow.
Okay. So to give you some context before we continue, anything that's, from Republican plus anything, whether it's 1.01 all the way up to Democrats +3, Republican wins the Electoral College. That's always been the case going back to the year 2000. So even if a Democrat is up +3, meaning self-identified Democrats in this country, according to Gallup, Republicans win the Electoral College. All right? Here's something pretty interesting. Republicans now hold an advantage according to all three major pollsters. Let's do NBC first. In 2020, Democrats were +6. Now Republicans +2. Pew Research, Democrats were +4 in 2020. Now Republicans +1. And the most reliable, we're going to give you these numbers here and you can check all of them, the references. Gallup, Democrats +5 in 2020. Now Republicans are +3.
Wow.
Yes. And Gallup has the most extensive record historically. They've been doing this for a very long time. Let me go through some history here as far as these trends, right? Party identification, meaning this is what we're using right now. Party identification, not necessarily registration. We're using the same methodology. Gallup is, as they have used before. We're going to use the numbers from Q3, right? The third quarter before the election. Okay. 2020, Democrats were +5. Democrats won the popular vote by 4.4. So within 1 point of that. Okay. 2016, Democrats, according to Gallup, they were +3. Democrat won the popular vote by 2.1%, within 1 point. And of course, Republican won the Electoral College. That's what I'm telling you. Anything all the way up to Democrats +3. If we play it conservatively, Democrats +2, the Republican wins the Electoral College. 2012, Gallup had Democrats +4. Democrat won the national popular vote by 3.9%.
Wow, that's close.
2008, Democrat +8. It won the popular vote by +15%. In that case, that was one of the outliers because it was Barack Obama. 2004 was tied. They had actually Republicans up by Republicans by 0.0 something, so a statistical tie. The popular vote was won actually by a Republican 2.46%. So again, it's within that 2-3 points, that margin of error. Let's go back to that was 2004. 2000. Let me look at my notes here. Democrats were +5. Popular vote, Democrats +0.51%. And again, a Republican won the Electoral College. You cannot find an example where they've had Democrats up really by 3, some could argue 4 or 5, where Republicans have not won the the Electoral College. And we're really, really close. This is the most consistent pattern that you can see. And of course, right now you can look at where the money is being bet. But Gallup specializes in this. Not all polls are created equal. And this is not an election poll. This is comparing numbers. It's as close as you get, apples to apples, in this kind of a sphere right now. And Republicans are up by a margin that they have not seen really in 2 decades. They're up by 3 with Gallup. There is no world in which Donald Trump does not win the Electoral College, and very likely the popular vote, unless for the first time Gallup has a huge swing and a miss since the year 2000.
Well, and I can't believe that it wasn't higher in 2020. Go back to that 2020 number really quickly, because I thought that would have been the time. It was D+5.
Yeah.
Like that was the year where I was like, okay, everything's on the line. Donald Trump, like everybody's coming out, and actually if they're Republican, they're supporting him, because we knew that Biden was he was going to melt down like he did during his presidency, right? We knew that was coming. And now with that kind of secret Trump vote that we always talk about, people not necessarily wanting to say it, but going to the ballot box and checking the box for Donald Trump, even with that, we're leading by 3, Republican +3. That's insane.
Yeah. Think about that.
Was there, I didn't see it in here. Was there a time where there was Republican anything close to +3? I think tied was
No, I think the closest was
0.01 or something.
Tied, and the Republican won by +2.
Yeah, but I can't even imagine, go back in history. Now, look, I understand that this is just one marker. This is
actually
one of the most
the biggest win they would have is the biggest example you would have would be 2000, where they had Democrats +5 and they only won by about 0.5%.
Yeah.
But again, that was an election. I don't know if you guys remember this, was quite contentious.
A little bit. Yeah. Florida, just by 1 county at least.
Yeah.
But I put that with the Polymarket stuff that we talked about. Put that with I just got a new poll, Trump up 1 in Michigan right now. Put that with the poll switch that we're seeing in Pennsylvania and Wisconsin. Put that with these other things, and all of a sudden it starts to look very, very, very good for Donald Trump. And the only thing, like you said, that has changed is Kamala Harris has done a press tour, and people can hear what she actually thinks. And most of the time you don't hear what she thinks because she just rambles.
Well, she said, let's bring out I need black votes. Let's bring out weed and crypto.
Why the crypto? Is crypto a big black thing?
I don't necessarily, I'm sure it is with some black guys, but I don't think of it as like the black thing.
I don't think like if you're a black voter.
I think that she meant to say Cash App.
She thought it was built on blockchain technology.
Is that what she said?
Oh, come on.
That's pretty good there.
I think there were a bunch of black guys who were affected by the Robin Hood thing.
That might be it though, yeah, because that seemed to be be. Yeah, that seemed.
I'm just saying it's just because it had a hood in the name.
Yeah.
Well, it also had Robin. They're big fans of Batman, you know, or Small Birds.
Were you about to say something there, Noodles?
I was just going to say 14 and a half now. So
14 and a half. This morning, I want to say it was less than 12 this morning when I was checking it like at 5 a.m.
Today's been a day.
And that was because of the Noodles joke.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm telling you, look, she has to go out in a press tour. And Brian Stelter was on CNN this morning saying, and now Kamala Harris is the one doing the press tour and turning the tables. Why is Donald Trump not speaking on 60 Minutes? She has the upper hand, and she's down another 3 points in the betting odds. I don't know why this guy has any kind of a job. I don't hate anybody. It's wrong to hate. I'm just incredibly suspicious. He has dirt on somebody. You don't get to be that fat, unappealing, stupid, and have that kind of job security.
Return of the fight. He's got tonight. Return of the fight. Oh my God. Return of the slack.
Brian Stelter is the Reddit politics comments thread personified. So where they actually, if you go to the Reddit politics, because they ban Reddit, right? They ban most conservatives, right? They banned the Donald Trump one, and even on the conservative Reddits, they moderate. So I spend a lot of time on left-leaning message boards, forums, groups, and certainly Reddit. They actually believe that it's a landslide for Kamala Harris. Like, oh, Republicans are in for a they have no idea what's coming. It's going to be like the red wave that never happened in midterms. Like, well, hold on a second. That's actually closer than you're thinking.
Right.
And watch. When she loses, what's going to happen is the left is going to say, and Donald Trump could barely beat really the weakest Democrat candidate in modern history. So they want you to forget how they have pulled out all the stops.
Oh, yeah.
Watch.
We'll turn their back on her real quick and make her a scapegoat.
Oh, they'll forget about her so fast. Nobody likes her in the Democrat Party. Come on. They're all just putting this on for show right now. Nobody likes Tim Walz. The reason Tim Walz got picked is because he was the only person out there in the Democrat Party in any kind of position of power in a state that wouldn't upstage a moron. Right? Okay? You can't pick Shapiro because then you're like, well, why isn't he going for president? Because she's an idiot and he actually is an articulate person who can, you can't go Buttigieg, even though I hate him. He actually does a good job putting forward the case.
He does do a good job
about it and spinning those things
when his mouth isn't full.
Well, that's absolutely true. But here's what happened with Brian Stelter. Brian has dirt on somebody and he told them that he had dirt on them, but they fired him anyway. And then he said, okay, I'm going to prove it. And now he's shown them the proof and he got rehired.
Yes.
I think that's what
happened.
Like, here's the actual sex tape, sir.
Yes.
So you don't want this getting out? Yeah, I have my spot back, right?
You're going to hire me back, and you're going to retweet my posts where I talk about my wife's hot bod because I'm incredibly heterosexual. No one is as heterosexual as me.
Or this worst scenario where CNN actually went, you know what? We kind of missed that guy.
Yeah.
We should bring him back.
Yeah.
Sucked that we had to fire him the first time because he kept stealing Amy's lunch.
Yes. I miss his echoes throughout the hallway of, I'm straight.
Well,
yeah, while you're running in a zigzag pattern. Okay, sure, okay.
It's not even a question. I'm not saying it to weaponize it. I've had at least 5 instances where women who pay zero attention to news, and 3 of whom have horrible gaydar. And I said, hey, let me ask you, what do you think about that guy? And every single one to the letter responded, you mean the gay guy?
Well, let's ask Gay William when he gets in here on Mug Club. What do you think? Although I will say his gaydar's a little off too, because anywhere I go, anything I do with him, it's he's gay.
Yeah, that's right.
He's gay. He's gay. I know. And I'm like, that's a reflection of me. What are you talking about?
Well, gay people think that all guys are gay.
I think he's just being cheeky, but he does have a pretty sweet gaydar, though.
He does have a pretty sweet gaydar. And by the way, we actually do have breaking right now the Democrats' reaction to the recent Gallup poll findings. Here's what
that chick's pissed.
Well, that's, Is it weird? Well, speaking of gaydar.
It's not a chick.
Your family dies unless you have to pick one of them.
Okay.
Maggie Gyllenhaal or Jake?
Oh, Maggie all day.
Absolutely
I actually
not.
think she's attractive.
No.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah. I like that.
You have something wrong with you.
I like the look of somebody who looks like she's been working all day. I'm like, that's hot to me.
As a fishmonger?
Yeah. Everything's sagging, even your cheeks. It's kind of hot.
Gosh, it's not.
What? You don't like a saggy face?
She looks like an old Dickens fishmonger.
Yes, but here's the thing. I'm not gay.
Stop turning me on, Stephen. Good Lord.
People tell you can't eat carp. It's an invasive species, but good eating is what I say it is.
Yeah, dude. Oh, woof. Look at the sag in her cheeks. I love that.
Can't carry my bags of grain down by the docks anymore. Have to fancy myself a hook.
Can I see it again? She kind of looks like a hot version of the mom from that 70s show.
I'm going to find a better one.
No.
Yes.
She's not.
In this context, the mom is the hot mom from that 70s
she's
show.
hot
Not
too.
Maggie
Sad all the
Gyllenhaal.
time.
She's
Her
a
face
hot
says
mom
I'm
also.
sad.
And by the way, it's only...
Oh, yeah, dude.
I'm sad.
Is that Photoshop?
That's not real. That's not a real
Yes,
picture.
it's been touched up to make her look better.
Wow.
All
She
right.
still looks 57.
Guys, save some cattiness for Gay William.
All right.
Fair.
Oh, wait.
Whoa! Oh,
What happened, William?
we have a set malfunction.
No, it's good. You don't need a show.
Yeah, Gerald, get behind him.
It's okay. William, it's not going to fall any further. You know what? Actually, here we're gonna play Spot the Transy with Gay William. Let's set up Spot the Transy. Haven't done it in a while.